I'm putting this piece up regarding this breaking news that Benazir Bhutto has been assassinated in Pakistan. And here's what needs to be said. The fact remains that while we were on holiday and taking a look at our domestic political horse race, the United States has been under the control of a lawless individual named Dick Cheney, nominally our vice president, the fellow who put up this stooge, this imbecile Bush, to seize the levers of power. And he and his energy baron buddies have a vested interest in destabilizing Pakistan.
As I mentioned, who lived in Pakistan for many years and knows the players in this. Exploding right there in the street and leaving dozens dead.
And what it has to do with is a proposed liquid natural gas pipeline called the Trans Afghanistan pipeline, which would conceivably connect Turkmenistan, which you see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen here, with a huge economy of India and the gateway to the Pacific Rim beyond. In between, there is Afghanistan, which we control, and this is the area for this proposed pipeline, which was originally slated to be constructed and operated by Unocal for this enormously lucrative project that would supply India and the Pacific Rim beyond with liquid natural gas. What happened as the war continued on in Afghanistan, Unocal merged with and was acquired by Chevron, the company that had swallowed Texaco. Now we'll come back to Chevron in a bit and their interest here in Pakistan and the region, the larger region as well. But things didn't work out so well for Benazir Bhutto, nor the people of Pakistan. Let's remember that the Bush administration and the Department of State was encouraging Ms. Bhutto to return to Pakistan just weeks ago. And there's a happier story, though, with regards to Chevron. Another young woman who had goals, and if we were to believe Dick Cheney and his buddies on the White House Energy Task Force, she was a young, humble college professor who was simply working a night job, happened to be seated on the board of directors of Chevron, one of the world's richest and most powerful companies, bigger than many nations themselves. And she just happened to be tapped on the shoulder and offered a job as President Bush's national security advisor. Now, in an office environment like the Bush White House, where competence, results, or even connection with reality are not used as a metrics to evaluate performance, things went well for this young lady, who, even after a few short years of her record that you can see in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and other places around the world, was able to become not only our nation's, but Chevron's Secretary of State. This, of course, is Condoleeza Rice. Of course, things haven't been all rosy. I suppose you could ask the Pakistanis, who are now getting used to living in a police state. But let's return to the map and see what kinds of challenges Cheney has been facing with his ambitions. Well, the man mustn't have mirrors in his house, because unless you make your home in Iraq or have been living under Iraq, according to Cheney, the biggest threat is Iran. And it's no wonder with respect to this pipeline, because the Iranians have their own rival proposal to lay a pipeline, an LNG pipeline, either in the shallow coastal waters of the Arabian Sea or along a very short land route along the coast of the Arabian Sea. And it would thus provide entree into the Pakistan market, which is a country of 140 million people itself, as well as the bonanza of getting in on the energy market in India. Well, former Chevron director and handmaiden to the oil interests, our United States Secretary of State Condoleeza Rice, would have none of this. And this proposal this proposal was a terrible threat to the American energy interests. Now the second threat, and let's not call it a terrorist threat, let's call it what it is. It's a commercial threat, a financial threat. The presidents of Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden, the Taliban in northwest Pakistan posed quite an inconvenience to Cheney. So what the energy barons would need to do is wall this area off. But frankly, as long as they could be in the gas business and they're supplying the subcontinent of India, the Pacific Rim beyond, to their awaiting factories that they've already shipped overseas, these people wouldn't give a damn if Pakistan disintegrated, save for perhaps the inconvenience of nuclear arsenals falling into, let's say, unsavory hands. Now, you can't begin to describe the kind of complexity of interest and players in this region and how they act and react given the fluidity of the situation, the kind of wealth at stake here. But suffice it to say, as far as the U.S. is concerned, and this is abominably, but you know, Benazir Bhutto, aside from all the wailing and gnashing of teeth that Washington would have you perceive to be empathy, Benazir Bhutto is simply another casualty in one of our many oil and gas and cash pipelines and the wars that we fought for them and the countries we destabilized on account of them. She very simply was another pawn that we used, and quite frankly this could very well be a pretext for us intervening directly in Pakistan, because fundamentally these oil and energy guys, they're gamblers. They're gamblers as long as it's not their own money and it's not their own kids' lives on the line. And you know, well, we have really cast our lot in with people, and this is across both sides of the aisle. I don't know about you, but I take no pride whatsoever in what our country is doing overseas and what we're allowing to be done in our names by these bastards. And you know, the Democrats have had ample opportunity to oppose this. They basically have benefited from the activist left that you know, the heat in the street you know, drove Bush's numbers down. You know, the opposition, and here they've done nothing in office, nothing. So I don't know, but we're in for a very difficult ride here, because you know, you could say, hey, we're out of Iraq, and you have a situation going on in Pakistan, and but make no mistake about it. If you think Hillary Clinton as a nominee is going to change our commitment to protecting oil pipelines, you're nuts. They may not drill up by the moose in Alaska because they're not going to need to. You know, the question is your gasoline going to be irradiated by the time you get it? So rest in peace, Benazir.